Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Zoya's Affairs. My name is Mabel, and if today is your first time of tuning in, you are highly welcome. And to all my returning subscribers, I am so glad you came back to watch. Thank you. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make delicious egusi soup. This is one of the famous soup in Nigeria. It is such a delicious soup and it's easy to make. If you want to see how I made this goodness, keep watching and don't forget to click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Also turn on your bell notification so as to get notified each time I upload a new video. Thank you. Before I begin, I would like to share with you the list of the ingredients which we are going to be needing for this soup. Over here, I have the egusi seed. This is the melon seed. This is what it looks like, and this has not been grinded. I'm just going to grind this into a thick paste. Over here, I have some peppers which we are going to be needing. Of course, I have the bell peppers here. Bell peppers are actually known to be tatashe, and I also have some atarodo here. These are scotch bonnet pepper, and they are so very fragrant, delicious, aromatic, and super hot. And I also have some tiny little onions here. Trust me guys, these onions are so full of flavors and they are so very delicious. I have been using these onions lately and I really like the flavors. And over here I have the pomo. This is what pomo is looking like. It's cow skin which has been boiled and cooked before we actually buy it in the market. And now that all the ingredients has been shown, I'll go ahead to prep them. So I'm just going to add the bell peppers, the scotch bonnet peppers, and the onions into my blender. I'm going to add water to that and blend this to a smooth paste. Once that is done, I'm going to set it aside and I'll go ahead to blend up some onions, a lot of ginger, and 2 scotch bonnet peppers. This is just to marinate my chicken, which I'm going to be using for the soup. So once that is blended, I'm going to set it aside. Right now I'm going to blend the melon seed. So I'll be adding the melon seed into the blender, and I'm also going to add some onions to that and add water to it and bring this to a smooth blend. Once all the blending are done, I'm going to now share with you all the ingredients which I have here to make this delicious soup. So right here I have the chicken. It has been washed. I'm going to set that aside. The pomo has been washed and cut into small sizes. The smoked panla fish, grounded crayfish, dried shrimps. The ugu vegetable has been sliced. I have some sliced onions, the locust beans, and this is the blended onions, ginger and pepper for the chicken. I have salt, chicken seasoning cubes, and over here I have the blended pepper, the blended melon seed. This is what it's looking like, and I'm going to set it aside. I also have palm oil, of course. And now that everything has been set, these are all the ingredients which I will be needing to make this egusi soup. To that, I have placed the chicken on the heat. I'm just going to add in the blended onions, ginger and pepper to season with some salt. Also rinse out the jar and added the liquid into the chicken, and I'll add 1 seasoning cube to that. Stir it up together, cover this and allow it to marinate and cook for at least the first 10 minutes without adding any liquid. On the other hand, I also added the pomo into my tiny pot, and I'm going to add water to that, add a little bit of salt, and cover this and let it cook for 10 to 15 minutes. You don't want to eat pomo and be looking for toothpick everywhere. 10 minutes later, I went to check on the chicken and it has been doing pretty well. So I'm just going to stir this together, combine and cover it again to allow it to simmer for another 5 minutes. I do not want to add water to this chicken. It is soft chicken and I want it to cook on its own juice. This is 5 minutes later. It has been cooking and it is all done right now. I'm just going to flip it over and take it off the stalk. While I also checked on the pomo, it has been cooking and this has been 15 to 20 minutes of cooking. So I'll cover it, take it off the heat and drain out the excess water. Once all that is done, I'm going to place a pot on the heat, add some palm oil to that and let it heat up a bit. Once that is hot enough, I'm going to start to fry the chicken. I just want to give it a bit of texture, to fry it on the outside and let it still be moist on the inside. Once the chicken is completely fried like this, I'm going to take it out from the oil and it's time to start the cooking process. In the same palm oil, I'm going to add in the sliced onions and I'll be frying this for a couple of minutes before adding the locust beans into that, and I'll stir to combine, and I'm also going to fry this for another 2 minutes before adding some of the grounded crayfish into it. Stir everything together and combine it pretty well before adding the smoked panla fish. Once I added the panla fish into it, I'm going to stir and combine everything together beautifully while I set it there to fry for at least 3 minutes. And this is 3 minutes later. It has been frying and it is looking so good. So I'm going to combine everything together before adding the blended pepper mix. Add a little bit of water to the bowl and rinse it into the pot as well. Once that is well combined, it's time for me to add the cooked pomo into it. I want the pomo to cook through with the sauce and let everything cook into everything. Then I'm going to cover this and allow it to cook for the first 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, I came to open up the pot and the peppers has been reducing and everything has been cooking pretty well. I'm just going to combine everything together, add some salt into it, the seasoning cubes, stir everything together, cover again for another 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, I came to open it up and look at that. The oil has started to flow to the top. All I'm going to do now is to stir everything and combine together, and I'm going to start to take out some of the goodness inside this pot. All the pomo, the fish, the shrimps, everything I can take. I'm just going to take as much as possible, and once that is done, I'll go ahead to add the blended melon seed into the sauce. Stir and combine the blended melon seed with the sauce. You do not want it to sit in there like that, and make sure everything is well combined into it like this. And I'm just going to open it up like this and allow it to be frying for at least 10 minutes. And this was 10 minutes into the frying time. I came back to check on it. I'm just going to stir everything. You really need to stir and make sure everything is well combined. Just look at the soup. It has really changed. It has begun to form a thick paste. Add the remaining grounded crayfish into it. Stir that together to fry everything together again. Once that is done, I'll go ahead and add all the fried chicken into the soup, and I will combine everything together. That is because I want the chicken to absorb a little of the liquid in the soup. Once that is completely stirred into it, it's time for me to add all the obstacles which I took out of the sauce earlier, and I'm just going to combine everything together beautifully. Oh my goodness, it was so good. It was so good, you guys. The flavor, the aroma here right now was so amazing. Remember our stock? I'm going to add that into the soup. So I'm going to combine and stir all that in together beautifully. I'll cover this and allow it to steam up for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes later, I came back to open it up, and it is looking so good. Right now, I'm going to combine everything together before I will add the vegetable to it. Once the vegetables are in the soup, I'm going to mix everything up and combine everything together beautifully. Once everything is well combined, I'm going to cover this for 2 minutes, and that is it, guys. 2 minutes later, I went back to open it up, and our soup is ready. You guys, this was so beautiful. It tastes amazing. Right now, I'm just going to combine everything together, and our soup is ready. Today, we are going to be enjoying this with some Amala. Amala is yam flour fufu, and I already have that going on in here, and I'm just going to finish it up, and that is it. We actually enjoyed this. It was so good, you guys. This was so delicious. If you have watched this video up to this very moment, that means you like what you are watching. Please click on the like button. It really helps me a lot. It really makes me feel good, and it actually encourages me and tell me that you like watching me doing videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Also turn on your bell notification so as to get notified each time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in my next one. Bye.